Yeah, like 4 seasons in a weekend here.
I think so. And now some of us are looking at a winter storm watch and lake effect snow tomorrow.
Yeah, it's just this winter season that is unrelenting. We've been up and down. High temperature today hit 42 degrees, and we've been tumbling thereafter, all because of that strong frontal boundary that moved through the area. Last night, we were talking about bouts of moderate to heavy rain moving through. So I want to start tighter here, and then we'll grow larger in terms of our viewpoint. You can see we're on satellite and radar. We still have those mid and upper level winds really kind of tracing across the area, moving southeast with that low level wind really bringing in all of that cold air. The wider view is showing much of the atmospheric precipitation that we have is since moved off over towards the Appalachia region. This is why it's going to be sort of indicative of where exactly the snow is going to fall, how fast it's going to fall, and the timeline of it as well. This is not to say, though, that we have to ignore that winter storm watch that we do have in effect. You can see it includes portions of Cuyahoga County, also Geauga Lake, and even Ashtabula County as well. This is through Tuesday at 7 a.m. That is when we will officially be allowed to sort of exit the gate and move about. With surface temperatures now hovering around the 30-degree mark, even the freezing mark for some, feels like temperatures are still flirting with the teens. Elyria, you feel like 17, 22 Ashtabula, 18 down in Worcester. And so what we're talking about is a flip of the switch. That's what happens tonight, that we start to power on the lake and we start talking about those lake effect bands moving through. Monday, we're talking about a blustery scenario with that winter storm watch in effect overnight tonight through Tuesday. And we're bracing for much colder air come Monday. So keep an eye on what matters most in far as this forecast goes. So let's talk about this right now. Your National Design hour-by-hour forecast showing that as we make our way through the late evening hours, we start to power on the lake just a little bit here. So I will stop and tell you this. The model's a little bit sort of unconcerned, or at least unorganized as far as like who's going to get what and what's going to happen here, all because the lower levels will be saturated. There's some drier air in the upper levels, and that could allow for some of the snow bands to really be dry in some areas. Moist in others, dry in others. So you can see there some people will likely not receive a thing, while others, like Brook Park, perhaps even Parma, maybe even down towards North Royalton, you're actually going to pick up a little bit of snow here. Through Monday afternoon into the evening hours, we have even more bands go even further south and also up to the northeast, and that's why we have that winter storm watch in effect. Overnight, Monday into Tuesday, we start to turn it off a little bit. We back off just a little bit as high pressure moves back in, but it's going to be a cold start to our Tuesday because high pressure is in control, and so we're bringing all that cold air from the upper levels. Speaking of which, blustery, as I said before, this is all because we're going to have high winds expected tomorrow as well. Noon, we'll have wind gusts approaching 30 miles per hour. That continues through the evening as well. So the snowfall forecast, at least for us, taking us through Tuesday at about 6 p.m., you can see where that thin band is moving on through. I don't want you to get caught up on these numbers because that can change. We could have some training happen, which is where you get more precipitation leading over the same area over a duration of time, and that could allow for some of those numbers I was just showing you to go up a little bit. So here's your Union Home Mortgage 7-day showing that again, Monday, Tuesday, cold, my friends, high temperatures in the mid-20s, high pressure moves back in, southerly winds with a warm front. We go back into the 30s and 40s before next weekend where we start talking about our next system moving back in.
Grapple, training, I feel like I'm learning something new every time you have a forecast.
This is your weather's classroom.
The more you know.
Thank you, Professor.